It's some good stuff. Y'all got to try this. Real talk. So I came on for a few minutes because I wanted to do some teaching this morning about the protocols of the wise men of Zion. But before I can get into that, I wanted to give an update on the situation in Pittsburgh with the two black women who were assaulted by the Middle Eastern gentleman that owned the Exxon station. They have been brought up on charges, which is a first step in the right direction. As long as we continue to allow foreigners to open up places of business within our communities and not hold them to any type of accountability, they're not required to put any money back into our communities. They are allowed to mistreat our people and so forth. And what most folks don't realize is that they have systematically made it almost next to impossible for us to open up our own businesses, or at least made it so challenging, but yet make it so easy for someone else to come into your neighborhood and open up a business and then treat you any kind of way. So the good news this morning is, we all seen the video. We all saw, it was a fight, regardless of how it got started. But once it spilled out into the parking lot and, y'all beating women like we in India or some crazy shit like that, then it became an issue. So even though there were 6 of them out there, 3 of them have been brought up on charges. The problem with the charges are that they're misdemeanor charges. If I so much as raise my hand to a white woman, I'm charged with aggravated assault with mitigating circumstances, and I'm probably looking at 5 to 7 years just for raising my hand. These men beat these women, yet the district attorney and the police have, since when did the police recommend the charges? I thought the district attorney had final say on that, but that's really not my truck this morning. The men have been charged. Here's the crazy part. They were not arrested. They were sent a summons. You got to come to court because you committed assault, simple assault on these women. Now, I have reviewed the tapes again and again. Simple assault? I don't think so. Aggravated assault? Yes. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon because my man used the shoe? No, don't overreach. But the goal is to shut the store down and remove them from the community, because obviously they have come over here with the mentality that's been told to them, and you can treat them any kind of way. And let me say one more thing before I get into what I want to drop on y'all, because I don't really have that much time. They always claim there's no money in the black community. Then why they be opening up all these stores then? There's money in the black community. We just give it away to everybody else. Our money bounces one time, if that, before it leaves our hands and goes to another race. They call us black gold. Why? Because every race knows that the black race is so consumed with consumerism and not producerism that they will chase after anything shiny that looks like something that they need to have, and they'll give you their money. Whereas other races will not do business with us in that respect. They will sell us stuff all day, but buy stuff from us? No. A Chinese man told me once, I don't care how good a bargain you have. We have a pact. We will not do business with you. So I wanted to bring that to y'all attention first. So yeah, they acted up. We pulled up. Y'all know how that goes. They don't want that action. So they went ahead and charged them boys. And then again, remember, these were no white boys. These were some Middle Eastern boys. So as usual, as I hate to say it, they got their nigga wake up call too. We'll see how that plays out. But really quick, I wanted to spend a few minutes this morning about as I was sitting here drinking my special brew. If you all have not gotten a hold of any of this $22 a bottle honey that does wonders for your health, let me hold. I gotta say this, man. Look, man, 2-3 years ago, they gave me 2 years to live. 3 years ago. They gave me 2 years to live, 1 year to be sane. And then the rest, I would degenerate into this debilitative state where I would lose my mind. And then I would die. That was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I stopped believing in American medicine. American medicine is designed to treat you and make you comfortable in your ailment, but never cure anything. There used to be a time when we were looking for a cure. We were looking for a cure for cancer. We were looking for a cure for, diabetes. We were looking for a cure. Now they don't look for cures anymore. Now they just want to treat you and make you comfortable in your ailment, because there's money in the treatment. There's no money in the cure. Remember that. So I abandoned American medicine and I started, dealing with the likes of Dr. Layla Africa, and I started, deeply studying Dr. Sebi's work. And then I started really digging into our own physiology. We are a different creature. And I think the thing that brought it to my attention, and what's going on, Liz Smith, 468. Also, I see Apex Photography Atlanta. What's happening? That's my man, Alfred. Welcome to the discussion this morning, real quick. I had a doctor tell me that I had high blood pressure. And I didn't have high blood pressure. I knew I didn't have high blood pressure. I had just had a thorough physical by the Department of Defense that said I was in peak working condition based on our physiology, not on white people's physiology. Yes, of course, my blood pressure is higher by your standards. I'm a superior creature. Yes, of course, I have excessive bone structure development, muscular structure development. I'm a melanated creature. Of course, I have a vitamin K, which you think is a vitamin K, not a deficiency, but I have an overabundance. No, I don't. My skin produces that when the sun hits. See, that's what that melanin does. So stop trying to tell me I'm sick by your standards, because by your standards, I don't fit into your box. So I can no longer go with your witch doctor medicine. I had to travel abroad and found out that there are substances and natural cures in this world that they keep from people in the United States, because once they tell you all about it, they're out of business. If you knew that there was something that would cure Alzheimer's, if you knew that there was something that could reduce, that could eliminate dementia, if you knew that there was a way to actually end cancer, and believe it or not, the cure for cancer is not in some research center. The cure for cancer is what the fuck they feeding y'all in these stores and what's coming out of these processed factories. We don't hunt anymore. We don't grow our own food anymore. We don't read the skies no more. We're not in tune with the earth no more. And y'all done fell into this. But that's another talk for another time. So when I'm sitting down trying to hunt down all of these elixirs and all of these forbidden, like DNT and all these other psychotropic drugs that's supposed to expand the conscious and open the third eye that we were familiar with. When I hunt this stuff down and I see the benefits, look, I can lead y'all to water, but I can't make you drink. And I'm drinking. Hold on. So all of my health problems disappeared within the last 2 years. Same thing with mucus. I used to always be, always clogged up with mucus, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from, and I didn't have a cold, and why is my sinuses why am I all the time? What's going on in life? I found out it was your diet that produces mucus. When I started, understanding the acidity of even the bottled water that you buy. Y'all really should do a Google and go to YouTube and look at the video that they did where they took all of these so-called smart waters and they lined them all up. You remember, anything that's acidic eats you up inside. Anything that's acidic destroys the enamel in your tooth and your bones, and you're not supposed to be consuming an acidic diet. If it's high in acid, it's eating you, it's killing you. So I had to go back and figure out, okay, you know what? I know what I like, because that's called being addicted, but I got to figure out what does my body need so that I can continue to reproduce and not, as y'all say, get old. There's no such thing as getting old. What actually happens is once you start to let your body break down, once you stop giving it the tools to rebuild itself, once you stop feeding it that which makes this engine magical, then it does like anything else. It begins to break down. If you keep putting diesel in a gasoline engine, yeah, it'll run, but eventually it will burn up. And that's what a lot of us are doing. So whenever y'all see me sitting around talking about I went out and hunted down this root, or I found this elixir that does A, B, C, and D, y'all just remember that I'm doing it because I want to keep looking the way I do. That's why when I go to my class reunion, that's why when people go back and look at my profile and they say, the brother ain't aged a bit. What is age? Age is the breaking down of the systems within your biogen system. Don't do that. Figure out what's happening. Like, for instance, I asked a brother the other day, I said, you know why your hair gets gray? And he was like, 'cause you get old. I said, no. It's because your cells stop producing testosterone. And when the testosterone's level drop to a certain level, the cells begin to die off because they don't have any more testosterone. Oh, listen, what do I need to do? Well, you need to increase your intake of testosterone, but not something synthetic. Don't go out and buy some shit they whipped up in the lab. Do your research and find out where testosterone naturally occurs in foods and in roots, and go and consume that and watch what happens. Don't fall for this bullshit that they doing to y'all where they're saying, you know, we've got these new drugs and blah, blah, blah. Because I'll give you a prime example. This is hair. This is called hair. I have hair on my body. Hair, which is resilient, which serves as a purpose, which serves as a cover. That's hair. There is a difference between hair and fur. And I'm not trying to insult anybody about your DNA makeup. Dogs have fur. We have hair. Hair has a certain strength and a DNA makeup to it. And they did a study and found out that, I'm not trying to be facetious with nobody. Don't get offended because I'm telling you the truth. Black people have hair. White people have fur. And that is why they shit is always straight. That's why they can't do with it what we can do with this. That's why they coming up with chemicals to try to figure out how to control their shit and this, that, and the third. Why do you think lice are attracted to their fur and not our hair? Because our hair serves a different purpose. Look at the DNA structure of Negroid people, and then look at the DNA structure of what they call hair that's growing out of Caucasoid people, and then compare that to the DNA makeup of fur that's on animals. It's the same thing. We are two totally different creatures. So I had to figure out, what should I be eating? Remember, they told y'all in the Holy Scriptures that they had 3 brothers that went before the king and said, please don't make us eat the king's food. And the king said, everybody got to eat the food. They said, no, we don't want to eat the food. We will make us dishonor our creator. And plus, you know, that's not good for us. And cut a deal with you. Y'all eat what y'all eat for 10 days. We're going to eat the king's food for 10 days. We're going to come back and see who looking better in 10 days. 10 days later, the brothers rolled back. Skin was clear. They were vibrant. They weren't no mucus. Everybody was thinking straight. Third eye was open, focused on the creator. They had, okay, well, we'll let y'all go ahead and continue to eat what y'all eat. But everybody else is eating the king's food. And y'all eating the king's food, drinking the king's liquor, taking the king's poison. Then y'all wonder why we have to go around. Good morning, DJ Mad 718. A perceived firecracker. What's going on, Queen? Listen. I came to talk about something else this morning, but what I really wanted to get into real quick, before I get my day started, as I'm sitting here drinking a giant cup of I don't give a shit, is first, let y'all know the update again. Charges have been brought against the 2. I'm in the kitchen. Y'all know I'm in the kitchen. I'm trying to do my domestic thing, right? Charges have been brought against the Middle Eastern men in Pittsburgh that beat the sisters earlier this week. In the parking lot. So we'll keep an eye on that one. But what I wanted to talk to y'all real quick, because y'all know I've been in this whole series with the Behold a Pale Horse, was there's so many things in there y'all got to pull apart. But I wanted to put some on your mind this morning. There is a list of protocols that they claim that the elite live by. And some of those protocols are designed to control you, even when you don't know you're being controlled. So I want to share just one little piece from Behold the Pale Horse, because I asked somebody this the other day. I said, what's freedom? And they told me that, I can do what I want to do. That's freedom. I said, okay. But do you understand what the meaning of freedom is here? And they tried to explain it to me, and eventually they said, no, I don't get it. So let me quote from Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. If you have never read the book, it is required reading. That somewhere around chapter 15, there is a quote about the protocols. And the one that stands out to me the most is the word freedom, which can be interpreted in various ways, is defined by us as follows. These are their words, not mine. Freedom is the right to do that which the law allows. Y'all thought I was going to say something super deep. Freedom is the right to do that which the law allows. Think about what they're saying. This interpretation of the word will at the proper time be of the service to us, because all freedom will be thus in our hands. And since the laws will abolish or create only that which is desirable for us according to the aforesaid program. In other words, if we say freedom is defined by the law, and that means you can only do what we say, we make the law. That's not what freedom means to me. If you get a chance, please research the second independent, or was it the third? First, yeah, it was the second. The second independent presidential debate that was held in Flint, Michigan, last year. And one of the questions that they did ask was, what is the meaning of freedom to you? And I gave a rather eloquent answer that turned into a video short. If you can find it, if not, I'll dig it up and I'll post it. But that's not what freedom is to me. Freedom is the ability for me to do what I want, when I want, if I want, without having to ask anybody if I can or should be able to do it. That's freedom, to come and go as I please, to establish that which I choose, to build that which I choose to build, to profit off of that which I have created, and to form alliances with those folks who are like-minded with me, and the ability to go to war with those that are not. That's freedom. Freedom is not what the law says. That's not freedom. So there's a piece in here about the protocols of freedom being bound inside by the law. Yet you ever notice that every time that something is done to one of us, that they tell us we have to obey the law? Really? It's when we decide not to obey the law that all of a sudden it becomes an issue. So I'm going to leave y'all with that thought, because they also go on in that very same chapter to talk about how you control the press, and how the press and journalism and literature are two of the most important educative forces. And they say, therefore, our government will become the proprietor of the majority of the literature, the news, and the journals, and stop anyone from doing any independent thinking on their own. And you keep y'all distracted. And you hear me talk about that. I'm going to come back later on, probably this evening, because I really want to get into some deep teaching with this and maybe take a few questions. But I'm going to dig into this, how they own the media now, and how there's really no more free press. And how, if you really want to know what's going on, you know, you have to kind of come to cats like me and other brothers and sisters out here just trying to tell you the truth amongst all this noise. But at the end of the day, remember, we thought that the purpose of the media was to tell us what's going on. The powers to be have taken the media and used it as a tool to tell you what they want you to know is going on, and shape how you think. Remember what they said, freedom is defined by the law. I don't remember, or I can't even conceive that notion. That doesn't sound like freedom at all. So good morning to you. Get your day started. I'm going to get mine going. It's going to be an interesting one. In the meantime, remember, if it ain't black, put it back. And facts over feelings. If you got feelings in this, get help. Y'all be cool and try to stay out of trouble, because that's all they think we about, when all we trying to do is rebuild a kingdom. Know what I mean? Peace.